North American radio show, and now worldwide show, the LizyT Blog Talk Radio Show. She wants to know who you are, what you do, your contact info, anything new. And now welcome the amazing LizyT.
LizyT Show. How are you doing this evening? Late, early evening. Hopefully, you are getting ready for that wonderful home cooked meal that you are cooking today. It is Monday. Wow. And I love a lot of you are always wondering or get suspicious why I'm so happy on a Monday. Well, reason being that this is the startup of my date with you because we don't do shows on the weekend, and well, we have been, we have been, we have breaking some of the rules, but some of you know that I have an ill father, and weekends are the day that I get to spend time with him because we don't know for how long we're going to have him. And so enjoying every single moment with family members. So hopefully you're doing the same. You're doing the same. But I'm here on Monday and I get to see you guys. I get to talk to you Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm so happy and honored to bring another guest and another amazing, amazing story. And wonderful to be able to share with all of you listeners. Just remember, guys, that if you would like to call us in, interact with us, you can always do so. The lines are open. 845 is the number, 277 9146. 845-277-9146. Our social is open. We are on Instagram, on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on LinkedIn, we are, my goodness, we even doing TikTok. And a lot of you are thinking, Lizzie, TikTok for reals? Well, we've been advised by my coach that we need to be all over social presence. People don't even have websites anymore. I mean, very rare. We do, but that's one of the things that is coming up. I mean, social is the new website, is the new presence, and I guess that's what we're doing. So let's see how long I can keep up that one for. We as I said, we are live today. We have an amazing guest, and I am so excited that he's able to connect with us. And one of the things that I love to do is, bring up the International Day. Today, believe it or not, I don't remember seeing this because I do this every year, but December 7th is the International Aviation Day. There you go. So for all of you retired veterans, and for you, all of you that are, in the aviation, whether it's in the military or privately, congratulations! Happy International Aviation Day, Civil Aviation Day. So very excited to see things that. I keep a track, but I honestly remember seeing this last year. Maybe the day that we did this show, it was a weekend or a holiday or something like that. It couldn't be, but there you have it. Weather-wise, here in Toronto, Canada, my goodness, guess what? We are heading to -7 this evening. So it's gonna get pretty cold. I did do my walk lunchtime, which was actually really nice in the sun. Hopefully, you were able to get off your computer or wherever it is that you do. I know that our guest is not much of a person. I think he's right on the job. And then Columbus, Ohio, it is a +1, which is very comfortable. And you know what? They're actually, Columbus, Ohio is pretty close to Ottawa to Toronto, so they're pretty close by. If I'm not, if Columbus, Ohio, yeah, they're pretty close to us. So I guess they have very similar weather to ours. And I know that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow we're gonna have a pretty nice mild weather. So yeah, looking forward to it. And you guys are wondering why am I mentioning Columbus songwriters for weeks? Like I mean, everybody in the world, and we've been having people from all over the planet, South America, Central America, the States, Europe, and the winter have amazing questions, very good questions that our guests could definitely answer for you. So let me give you a little bit more hint. Um, he is in the construction industry and probably he could talk about a lot of saving tips that they can help you with your home or with your purchase for your investment and much much more. So let me remind you of the numbers: 845-277-9146. I would like to thank again my sponsor, Dr. George Grant. He's a homeopath and he is a neuropath. And if you are looking for someone who has not solved your problem when it comes down to those migraines that you've been having for years, you've done tests and nothing happened, check out Dr. George Grant. He's right here in Toronto, Canada. We will be playing the words of a sponsor right after or throughout our interview. And we don't count with our guests. And then we have our musical section. What's radio without music, right? So for you that have sent us your MP3, oh, the selection is huge. Our inbox is packed. And I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but we did not play music with profanity. So I know other stations are okay with that, but for us, it has to be the clean version. We play rap, we play gospel, a variety of.
North American radio show. And now, worldwide show. The LizyT Blog Talk Radio Show. She wants to know who you are, what you do.
You got it. I want to know who you are, what you do, contact info, anything new. And without further ado, let's welcome Keel. Sorry, Keely Scott. And I know he corrected me just a little while ago, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it with a wonderful round of applause. Welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. I'm glad to be here.
I am honored and privileged to have you talk about a very, very important subject. And by the way, everyone, sorry, can you correct your name again? So it's Kaylee?
It's Keely Scott.
Keely Scott. Keely Scott, by the way,
yes.
He lives in, as I mentioned earlier, in Columbus, Ohio. He's been in the construction business since he was 13, really. Keely is actually, he's a Scotch, a Scottish and family descendant, hence he's Scottish Men's Construction. By the way, his logo, as you are watching on our social, it is very, very awesome, incredible. He is trained with the most of what he wants to know and still works to alongside to his father. That's incredible. That's incredible. What they do, what they specialize in, is kitchen, bathroom remodels and plumbing, industry, including water heater installs, repairs, and he has a huge amount of knowledge. And I'm telling you guys, you should definitely call in for questions. And he's also trained in carpentry, framing, drywall, electrical, plumbing, and the foundation system. So, Keely, I wanted to ask you, your knowledge is superb and you well rounded when it comes rounded rather when it comes to construction. You were 13 when you started working along with your father. I mean, for anybody, and by the way, I can definitely uh, socialize with you or know what you're talking about because I've always, since I was 4, 5. rather. I
Yeah.
worked along my father, and I always wanted to work with him. Never even crossed my mind not to do anything else other than working with him. And I know a lot of people that working with your family member for a long period of time, you just want to run away, want to be doing your own thing, nothing to do with what you're doing with your father. So, what made you stay, and not only stay but pursue this amazing career?
Well, I've always enjoyed it because I like working with my hands so much. And it's nice being able to look at something at the end of the day and see you've actually accomplished something, or something has actually changed from one thing to another. And it's nice to be able to have that satisfaction to it.
That is awesome. Did you ever have you ever tried anything else? Like I don't know, just went on and tried to become a salesman, or just something different, or
I worked in I was a salesman for a little bit. I worked at a pro care at the sales counter, but honestly, I preferred working with my hands more and being more honest with my customers on exactly what they have to do, than have to follow a sales protocol that on how we're supposed to properly sell things. It's just being about, to me, it's about being honest with our clients and giving them the best product that they can have.
it's awesome. That is awesome. So I guess everybody in Columbus, Ohio, know you guys, and know the family business, know what you guys are all about, and now you're being on the radio, and it will give you a lot more respect and a lot more credibility. Not that you don't have it, but it's great to know that you've been acknowledged. This show is not just only here in Canada and the U.S., but we are all over the world. One of the things that I wanted to ask you too is your father, I assume, is still with us, or
Yes, he is.
beautiful,
But
beautiful,
over the last 2 years, he has slowed down a lot. So I have taken over most of all the responsibilities on everything.
beautiful. And not only that, you're becoming, proactive, and you know that to have a business, you have to have, media presence. You got to be out there, which is, very productive of you. And so, what is your father when you finally came back from experimenting somewhere else, and say, you know what, Dad, this is for me. I learned this since I was very young, and I want to pursue. I want to take our business to the next level. I assume he was very proud of you, or he was, like my father. I hope that you came up to me.
Basically, handed me some tools and went, all right, get back to work then.
Yep, yep. That's definitely like my dad. Definitely like my dad. Yeah, no changes on that. So let's talk about COVID. I mean, it's the elephant on the table. Everybody wants to wish that this could go away, but I assume that being in the industry that you are, not like singers that as you heard earlier, we've been interviewing tons of musicians, and reason being is because they can't perform because all the venues are closed. So a radio is the place that they can show up their craft. So has it been busier for you through this COVID period? Has the business has become busier because most people are at home, or has a slowdown for you guys?
No, business has increased tenfold because everybody's home. Now the little things that they didn't have to see or only walked by at a glance now stick out like sore thumbs, and that's an issue to them. So something's got to change. So they give us a call, we get it fixed for them, and get them back down the road.
That's
And we
awesome.
try and make sure that we cover all of our COVID protocols. We wear masks when we're in houses, try and keep 6 foot distancing between all of our clients and stuff, so they feel safe with having us in the home.
Well, congratulations, Keely, and I'm so happy for you. Where everybody else, the whole world is suffering, is people are losing their jobs, people are getting less hours, people, like I said earlier, authors are not be able to have, and I know that there is lose for some and gain for some, and I guess you are on the end of it, where your business is not only being a lot more proactive than before, is because everybody is home, working from home, and things go bad. The water has been used a lot more. Here in Canada, the gyms are closed, so the shower, when you used to take a shower at home, now you, or in the gym, now you're taking it at home, and that leaky faucet, or that knob that it wasn't closing properly, now it has to take care. How are things in Columbus, Ohio, when it comes down to lockdown and things like that?
Cautions to make sure all the machines are wiped out and clean. And our bars kind of look a little goofy right now, and even some of our restaurants with all of these plastic shielding around everybody. But besides that, everybody's wearing masks everywhere. Everything keeps
Yep.
moving forward.
Yeah, that is the norm. And for I hate to use that word, but that is it. And you guys are actually look like you guys have a lot more, a little bit more freedom that here in Toronto, Canada, which is great for businesses. We hate to hear that gyms are small businesses are closing because of COVID. So let's get to the nitty gritty, Keel, because people are talking about fixing their home, fixing things that they weren't working before, things that are starting to become a nuisance, not just that, oh, I'll leave it for later kind of thing. So can you tell us what are the top most three expensive things that they can go wrong in a home if I own or it doesn't pay attention to it?
Probably the biggest, three biggest things is your heating and air conditioner. So if you don't change your filter on that, you're gonna start breaking stuff. You can cut the lights down on it, and that's not cheap ever. Your hot water tank is probably your next one. That's the hot water tank's probably like part of the blood system in your home because that water flows throughout your whole entire house. And if you don't pay attention to it, you can get calcium buildup in there, and that can end up in your faucets, clogging things, as well as damaging your hot water tank itself. And then I'd probably say the next is your roof system, because if it's not right, you've got more water coming through the house, or it's being shut off improperly, and now you've got basement foundation damage.
Wow, wow. It's incredible how we not paying attention, we overlook things like the air filter, which is, right now is summer. I mean, winter in Ohio as well as it is in Canada. So for that will be definitely the filter in the summertime, and because you're not using it nowadays, how about doing the due diligence and taking care of that now before summer or spring hits and you start turning off the AC? So that's a good preventative. Love it, love it. So how about the heater? Because now we're using the heater in Canada, as you heard me. Tonight is going to be
Yeah.
-7. So how about that?
Well, with your heater and stuff, you've definitely got to make sure that you take care of it, like the furnace and stuff in your house.
Mm,
That's still going to be your air filter, and especially if you've got pets, you've got to take care of that because you can end up with that more clogging to your vents, cause fire hazards. None of that's good. But your hot
mm-hmm,
water tank, that you want to make sure that you at least flush it once a year, and you
mm-hmm.
can't let it just sit over and be the weird guy in the corner. You got to take a look
Yeah.
at it every once in a while, so you notice before it actually does start leaking, because you'll end up with little calcium deposits in spots where there weren't any before, which are like little white crystals that you'll see on like your copper pipes or your black galvanized pipes,
Mm-hmm. Wow, wow,
and that's
incredible.
the
Love it.
indicator that you're gonna have a leak.
Yes. So the other one is the hot water tank. That's a biggie. I remember one of our older homes, not in the province here of Ontario where we live, but in the province of our heater when it was the most thing ever, which we had no idea that it was going to be so bad. And obviously, the roof is a biggie. So, talking about most expensive things ever. So, in my view, and I'm not the expert, but I have an idea for the listeners that
Yeah.
that are listening to us right now, and they're probably been taking notes, and I hope you are. And by the way, guys, I want to remind you that you can always call us in. 845-277-4146 is the number to interact with us. We know you know that I know that we love interaction, so you could do that. Or you can always comment on our social Facebook /LizyT Radio or Instagram as well. So yeah, let's which one will be the most costly out of all those things that you mentioned?
Um, I'd probably say interior wise, the hot water tank, because
Yes.
if that leaks and blows and you're not home, you could come home with a foot and a half of water in your basement because your water
Yep.
lines have just been pouring out in your basement, which means all of your photos, your family pictures, whatever you've got downstairs that are
Yep.
or is near that hot water tank is going to be completely ruined. And that can also, if it gets in the walls, cause mold damage and other things like that. And then that's your family's health. You can't put a price tag on that.
Yes, you
So
can't. You
besides
can't.
the tens and thousands of dollars in just basic damage, it can cause residual damage down the road that you might not even see at first.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Incredible. Love it. Love it. Guys, if you are hopefully you're taking notes. If you're not taking notes, you can always welcome to connect with us later on. This is recorded here on the radio show, so you can always reach out to us when you listen to this. So, what are the other potential damage that could develop unnoticed? Because we're talking about the AC, the heater, the water, the roof, which is common. Everybody, almost almost has a common sense. Almost everybody has common sense, and almost everybody knows those are the biggies, right? But how about things that are people are not unnoticed that they could, come up with and make a big bill?
Windows. A lot of the some of the older homes have aluminum frame windows. Well,
Yeah.
when these windows heat up and contract, and you got really cold weather outside, especially like you guys have got in Canada, that
Mm.
the difference between those will make those windows sweat, and that much moisture, believe it or not, doesn't seem like a lot, can actually drip down into your walls and cause mold and rot and damage to your whole entire structure.
Yep. As I was mentioning, when we used to live in the province of Saskatchewan, this is, right in the middle of Canada, close to Montana, and the weather can go there minus 50. And, I remember the windows. There was an old house that we used to own, and the heater, within a couple of years, just, it was such a big expense. It was a big mess. And then you're right, the windows, they condensated so bad, and if you got closer to the window, you could smell the mildew. It was just disgusting, and it's so unhealthy too. Like, let's think about health too,
Yeah.
right? Let's think about, you have somebody in your house that has asthma or has some breathing or disorder, has some breathing issues or allergies, and you probably, pumping your child, your elderly, anybody with tons of meds, and the issue is not with them, is your house that needs to change or insulate your windows. I mean, never think about until something like this happened in my case, which is that's what was. The mildew was causing my child to have this asthma allergy. It's mildew. If you research, guys, mildew is deadly for people with asthma or breathing problems. So take care of that. So for people that are listening to us and they adore you guys there in Columbus, I wish you could be in Canada, Scott. I wish you could be in Canada. Oh well, oh well. What would you say that are the jobs that you do currently? I named a couple of them, but can you share with us?
So the big thing that we're doing a lot of right now are hot water tank installs. And mostly we started really pushing towards these a few months ago, and since then it's been taken off. And we found out that we do them so quickly that we don't have to charge a lot of the same prices that of these bigger companies have, because it's highway robbery what these people are charging to have some of these
I
tanks
I
installed.
heard of that. Yes, and it's the same here in Canada. It's the same.
I mean, some of these people are. It takes an hour and a half to 2 hours for most tank installs, and to figure out what they're charging per hour, it's like CEOs
Mhm.
of million-dollar companies aren't making that much money per hour as these guys are installing these tanks, and it's so we cut our prices down to make our customers happy, and
I'm I'm
because
happy
we
that
thought it
you
was right
are.
to do.
I am happy that you are very considerate to your customers and you feel their pain because to have a home, people save their life savings, a lifetime, and obviously some people get ripped off, and now they have this beautiful home with a lot of repairs to do, and it's so disappointing that you think that you got a good deal, but in the end of it you did get a good deal, but there's a lot of fixing up to do. And somebody like yourself is, but you're very, people in Columbus, Ohio are very, very blessed and very lucky to have you around, and for you to be able to answer the questions. So when it comes down to for people calling you or interacting with you, is there a fee for consultation? Like, do you charge them to go and take a look, see what's wrong?
Nope, we do free estimates on
Oh,
everything,
that's
and
awesome.
they can get a hold of us on scotsmancontracting.com. They can We've got stuff they can fill out on there. They can check out our testimonials, schedule appointments, and see what we're actually doing on the site, because we're working on several really good ideas to help out homeowners so they can find out information on how to do things, or at least even take a look to figure out what might be wrong. And if they need help, they can always give us a call. We can come out and we'll get it fixed for them right away.
Beautiful. That's awesome. That is incredible. Love it. I know he does this all the time, but I feel that people feel a lot more generous when it's the spirit of Christmas. So, it doesn't matter. I need to about manconstructing.com. I will have this link on my social media, the LizyT Show on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Twitter for you to be able to connect. There's a link for this recording. You can hear to everything that he has said right now when it comes down to big, huge tips. Like, this is awesome. Some people, just to mention things like that, they will schedule an appointment. They will charge you for that. So he's given us amazing free tips. The number for you guys to call him is 614 743-6224. Again, the link will be on my social media, and you'll be able to connect him to them rather directly. Are you guys at all on social yet, or just through this website?
We're just on this website right now, but we are also on Home Advisors and Angie's List. And the telephone number that you can get a hold of us on is 614 753
753
60. Yep,
Beautiful, beautiful.
6224.
6224, right on.
Yep.
Again, the link will be on my social media for you to be able to connect with them directly. If you mention you heard it on the LizyT Show, hey, my job is complete, I'm fulfilled. That's the reason I do this, to be able to help business owners, and also to be able to help someone who is probably struggling with a heater that is not working, or hot water which is giving them tons of issue, or you didn't know that if the built up the residue and the salt and the minerals that are left in there not taken care of now. It could be a huge or a bigger expense later on. So that's in windows, big ones, big one. And again, I know as for personal experience, going through my child with breathing problems. So it's the mildew that can cause that, not just that your child is the way it is. And I love too, they have a great logo. And so tell us a little bit about this logo. I have it on my social as well. Is a Scottish man, somebody dressed up, but you really want to go through that. You really want to portray your background, your heritage, which is awesome. So who thought of all this?
We're uh, my other partner that works with me, Stu, were throwing back and forth the idea, and I said, "How about a set of bagpipes?" And he goes, "That's brilliant. Well, why don't we add like the different fields in the tops of the actual decanters and the
Yes.
tops?" I went, "That's a great idea," and that's kind of
Yes.
how it was born right there.
Yes, I love it. I don't know if a lot of people noticed that, but that's the first thing I noticed when I saw the pipe, and I was like, "That's ingenious! Like that is definitely the best logo I've ever seen because it has all the tools as a construction person it tells them the picture tells everything. This picture speaks louder than a thousand words, and there it is. This is it. This stuff that I'm talking about. This is awesome. This is awesome. So for people that are listening to us right now and they're wondering, they're kind of on the fence and they're thinking, I don't know if I should call. I don't know if I should trust you, bring in somebody on my home. So at home, I've been dealing with such and such for a long period of time. However, it's not working, but I still trust them. Can you share with us some really, really amazing, maybe one or two, if you remember, amazing testimonial people that you've dealt with in the last year or so, that they called you in and you were able to and fill in the blank, and they were so thankful because if you were not there or helped them out with a particular situation, they could have lost, or spend huge amounts of money, or even lose the basement or whatever. So if you could share, at least one testimonial from somebody that you had they had an amazing experience with you, and they after you were done, they were so happy that they called you, that they couldn't live without you.
We've got one of the testimonials on there is from the owner of one of the bars here in Columbus. Um, I rebuilt his whole entire basement section of his bar. Ended up installing new bar top, um, wraparound bar, all new lights in the basement. Also did some plumbing repair from as well there. But one of the biggest ones that we brought probably our happiest customer was one we actually just had about a week ago. We got called in, and it was a 30-year-old tank that just started leaking from the pressure relief valve on the side of the tank. And after we started moving this tank around, we finally got it out. We got it turned and noticed that the whole entire side of the tank was completely rusted. And when we finally laid it down after we dollied it outside, this side of the tank actually burst open. It was that rusty, which means that client there almost lost all of their
Wow.
carpet and furniture that they had near it, as well
Wow.
as a brand new washer and dryer that were directly next to the hot water tank.
Wow. Wow, those, and it makes you feel that, what you're doing is so worth it, and you are not just saving somebody's home for becoming a whole chaos disaster, but if you feel like you are doing a worthwhile job. And I mean, I wish everybody can feel as fulfilled as you are, to be able to say, "Hey, I saved somebody's home," and they're so happy for it. That's, I guess, that when you look at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, or the end of the month, it's not it comes down to not just a paycheck, but it's the fulfillment that you get by helping a family member or a family, and knowing that this is so worthwhile, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. It's about giving the customer a great deal and and seeing them happy, because when you get to go home every day and you know you've made somebody's day, it makes you sleep a little better, or at least it does me.
For sure, for sure. If you have the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of being satisfied, and you're absolutely right. A lot of people go home at the end of the day, but there is that guilt, right? There's that they've
Yeah.
not done, they've done something wrong, and definitely you don't have that problem, which is incredible. I love it. I love it. This has been incredible. So, for somebody who is listening and or are on the fence, I think this testimonial will switch you over, and you can definitely give them a shout. Again, the website is God manconstructing.com. Again, the link will be here with this show and also on social for you to be able to reach out. And the website is you can just click on your mouse on your cell phone and you'll be able to reach out to them. And again, mention that you heard it on the LizyT Show. And this will be my biggest fulfillment of the day, that somebody got help through here through this show. Keely, it's been such an honor. We've been here a little longer than I stipulated, but you know what? It's worth it to hear your story, to hear your business, your background. You know that you started at 13 and now you're taking over that business, which is very. I mean, he must be unbelievably proud of you. I am, anyways, and people in Ohio are very blessed to have you. Keep up the good work, and hopefully that somebody who needs to contact you will do. And wish you a wonderful, blessed Christmas and an amazing, amazing New Year. Any last words?
No, it's been wonderful talking to you. And please, if anybody wants to get a hold of us, scotsmancontracting.com. And we'd love to hear from you and try to help you any way that we can.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
And thank you.
Okay. Wow, that was awesome, everyone. Again, the link will be on our social